Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Maybe I should flip this around here. But today we're looking at the Broadway Limited Chesapeake and Ohio Class L-1 Hudson. This is a brass hybrid locomotive. Did I already mention that? It's because it's brass hybrid this way. But we're going to go ahead and lift off the box and see what you get inside next. All right, we have a card explaining the limited 1-year warranty. There's an exploded diagram of the tender and on the other side of the locomotive. Pretty cool looking. Oh wow, you get a little handout about the L-1 Hudson. Now number 490 is still in a museum today, and I believe it's the only existing L-1 Hudson. Now you get an operator's manual as well. Broadway Limited always does a great job with this. 31 pages gloss, talks about functions, configuration variables, everything you need to know about your locomotive, maintenance and such. Keep turning this box around over and over again. And what pops out but a funnel for steam. Yes, this does have steam. And I'm going to go ahead and remove the box here. Let's see what's in the container. We have a sleeve. And there's two sides. Left and right. Traction tires and a tool to install those with. A coupler, I believe for the front, because the front is equipped right now with a dummy coupler. No offense to the coupler. Got foam inside protecting the tender and the cab from rubbing up against each other in transit. And then you have the locomotive itself already assembled, ready to go in one piece. But you know, some people have different opinions about that, but I love it. I don't have to hook up a tender, get all confused with trying to hook up a tiny little wiring harness. There the locomotive is with its rear end facing you, but we'll get it turned around and looked at in the next segment. All right, C&O is prominent on the front here, handrail on the side. This is a brass hybrid, which means it's mostly constructed of brass with very limited parts that are plastic. So there's a little walkway on the side. This locomotive is just shrouded in skirting, lots of it. So not a whole lot of detail to see up top in terms of the skirting, but down here you can see the piston, the side rods, the drive wheels, the front, the lead wheels here, and the trailing trucks, lead trucks and trailing trucks. Haven't done a steam locomotive in a while. I'm forgetting my terminology. Coupler cut lever up front, and that dummy coupler we were talking about, headlight, which is LED, smokestack, and we'll show you the roof detail as well. Now we're going to move along the side here because there's more detail to look at even closer. This is the blow down plumbing here, so this is where they blow down. Steam locomotive, get all the crud out of the boiler and out of the system, and the hot water is going to come out right here and steam. Trailing truck here, nicely detailed. And then we get to the cab, infamous or famous number 490, which is in the Baltimore and Ohio Museum. You've got a cab roof vent, which is fixed. The cab sunshade here, windows which are fixed, it appears. And 490 along with these little vented slots on the side. There are curtains that are fixed in a platform tread plate that goes down right here to meet up with the tender. Now we are going to talk about the tender, and we'll come back to the front. Don't worry about that a bit. Coal load, realistic looking coal load, Chesapeake and Ohio on the side, and all the bracing along the side here you can see is detailed, including the rivet detail there. Now the tender has some nicely detailed trucks as well. So long it doesn't fit on my turntable, but 490s on the back with couplers, spring couplers, and the crew access ladder, rear light. And as we come up, you can see the water hatch right on the back and another crew access ladder to the coal load and some other detail as well. There's a good view of all the panels, how the tender was constructed in the factory with all the metal sheeting and stuff on the real thing. They accurately represent that. Now there's crew figures installed. There's even a boiler backhead, just very hard to see with it all one piece. And then you can see along the side here, you can see again the handrail and the little area that the crew has to walk with. Now, one thing you can see, but I'm going to give you a better view of, is the roof detail. There's safety valves. There are lift lugs and all that rivet detail along the top, and then the smokestack. The whistle is in line, not sticking up at all. That's the whistle right there, and the plumbing that goes to the whistle. Steam plumbing. Then really the most prominent part is the front. I mean, this is an angled front. There's vents. Like I said, fully shrouded locomotive. The LED headlight, little mohawk looking headlight there. And then 490s up front with a little platform, and these are intake vents or vents to facilitate airflow. Now this dummy coupler does rotate, and then you can just close it all together so you have a nice smooth looking pilot as well. Crew access with the stairs up front, dead center. Just a beautifully painted and beautifully detailed locomotive. But they're no fun without running, so let's go ahead and do that next. Alright, I've got the functions listed here, and the very first one to get a locomotive moving is going to be F9 on Broadway limited locomotives, or you can just move the locomotive. I am going to give you the extended startup, so let's do that with F9. So you hear the crew walk up to the locomotive, get it started, and the crew cab light is on, in case you can't see the cab light. And there it is. And the headlight as well. Fairly long startup sequence. I thought it was done, but it wasn't quite done yet. You know, you hear the valves turn and hear the dynamo spool up, and then eventually the headlight goes on. It's a very cool pre-programmed sequence. All right, let's listen to some sounds with the bell, F1. F2's whistle. Now all the Broadway Limited fans want me to do F22, which is the second horn, so I'll toggle that real quick. So there you have it. We'll go back to the first one. Alright, F3 is coupler slack. That's when it's moving. As you can see there, and also under movement, the cab light goes off. F4, air pump, which you already hear a bit of. F5, when stopped, blowdown. When moving, increased chuff. F6 is water fill. Listen to that real quick. Accidentally hit F8 instead of F6. All right. It's water fill. You hear the latch open, then you hear it fill up and then stop. See coal shovel or auger, F10. F11's water injectors, 12 is brake set, 13's grade crossing horn. We'll hit that real quick. Broadway also has a whole list of passenger freight announcements, maintenance sounds, radio sounds, city-related chatter, farm-related chatter. It's all in here from F14 all the way up to 21. So we already talked about 22 with the second horn. 23 is track sounds. When it gets moving, you hear the clickety-clack. '24 and 25 have different functions as well. 25 is long whistle. Gives you a pre-recorded quillable play there. And then you've got macro, which is different. Now, you hit F27 and record a sequence. We don't have the layout to do it. But then you hit F26 to play it, and it'll record that same bell and horn sequence, speed of the locomotive, the whole nine. And it's a really cool feature. Only one in the industry that does anything like that. All right, we're going to go ahead and look at slow speed control on this at 1 speed step out of 126. Moving right along. Very smooth. 2. Do have puffing smoke. 3, 4, 5. Go in reverse so you can see that a little better. It was very smooth at slow speed steps, so we have that. 1, 2. A little track power interruption there for a second. 3. You can see the puffing smoke synchronized with the drivers. 4. And there are 5 or 4 chuffs per rotation of the drivers, which is correct. You can hear the reverser there. We'll check slow speed control in terms of speed at 1 speed step and see how fast it's going on the speedometer. It's 2.8 miles an hour at the first speed step. You can adjust that with the CVs, I believe, but that's what it is out of the box. So pretty cool and very smooth operation at slow speed control. Gonna do a pull test here. Broadway Limited always pulls insanely high. It's jumping up to 9, 9.7, 9.8, 10, 10.2, 10.5. Oh, it's lost its way. But even if you go at 10.5, that is insane. It's like 150 cars, those freight cars, more than you'll ever need, but Broadway Limited's engineering is just second to none in terms of pulling power, especially their steam. So this little bad boy can pull anything you put at it, maybe even a few real 1/1 scale cars at that rate. Well, that's going to do it for the Broadway Limited Chesapeake, Ohio L-1. Very, very cool locomotive. I'm going to go ahead and shut down now. You can hear that sequence. So there's the shutdown. Beautiful locomotive, great detail, brass hybrid. So you're getting mostly brass parts at less than a brass price. I've seen the brass versions of this go for 3, 4 times, 5 times what this sells for. So getting a really good value, smooth drive, even though it's a little quick out the gate on speed step 1. The coupler height was good. NMRA gauge was good, even though I did that off camera, but did want to tell you that real quick and let you know. Light goes on. If you're moving, it turns off, so the cab light's pretty neat. Headlight looks nice. Both LEDs will last a long time. Smoke unit, nice. With the puffing smoke, you don't like smoke, you can simply turn it off. No big deal there. 28 functions, pack decoder, plays macro recordings. Just really cool and a great value. And I think Broadway Limited is really showing themselves to be the king of Steam and HO scale, and they do a great job. Thanks for watching, guys. Always let your wallet do the voting and make your decision based on what I provide you, plus whatever experiences you have with companies. But we'll see you next time right here on my channel. Take care.